Let's bring in our Tuesday gaggle now. We have MSNBC contributor and political editor of the Griot, Perry Bacon Jr., Mattie Duppler with The Americans for Tax Reform, and Democratic strategist Steve McMahon. Thanks all for being here this morning. So, Steve, let me start with you. Are we seeing a microcosm of the 2016 race? Clinton's going to be involved in this, and then you have the Tea Party on the other side.
Yeah, the thing you have to remember about Virginia is now a purple state, and that's why it's in play in every presidential race. And if it's a Tea Party against the Clintons, I like the Clintons because the Clintons can actually appeal to independent voters, and Bill Clinton is actually extraordinarily popular within the set that will decide this election. Ken Cuccinelli does have a base, but so does Terry McAuliffe, the Clinton voter, and the African-American voter, which votes overwhelmingly Democratic. And so it will be a great race, but I think Terry's going to pull away at the end.
Mattie, if you look at the polls, Cuccinelli has a problem with women. He's run this ad where he gets emotional. Yeah. It sort of reminded me of that moment with Hillary Clinton on the campaign trail. Is this something that boosts him with women and other moderates?
Well, I'd be a little careful. I think that the tendency is to couch this as a Tea Party versus Clinton race because we have, as we mentioned kind of in the piece, that we have a Republican candidate attacking kind of a Republican governor. But I think that there is an important point to be made here, which is that the fiscal credibility that McConnell would like to say, or McDonald, excuse me, he'd like to say he has with Republicans is not there. This is a governor who was elected refusing to sign the ATR taxpayer protection pledge, launched into a transportation debate where he wanted to raise taxes. And if I'm the Cuccinelli campaign, that's what I focus on. If I'm trying to appeal to more voters, it's that we actually have a fiscal conservative running a campaign based on those issues. I think that's where he wins, not only with women voters, but all voters in general.
And Perry, we've seen Virginia go blue in the past two presidential elections, but voter turnout is not expected to be very big. So what is the challenge for McDonald in terms of getting his base to turn out?
McDonald, I think the challenge actually is for McAuliffe in terms of the base turnout, because of the key issue here is that blacks, Hispanics, Asians, the number of minority voters is booming in Virginia right now. That's why Obama won in 08. That's why he won in 12. If McAuliffe's able to turn, in a presidential year, McAuliffe, the Democrats are winning that state now. So if McAuliffe can turn out those Obama voters, he'll win the states. This is really about the demographic changes in Virginia as much as it's about Clinton or the Tea Party.
And obviously I have McDonald on my mind. He is hovering over.
So does the federal president, by the way.
He is hovering over this race as well. Cuccinelli taking a step back from McDonald. How big of a problem is this?
I don't think it's a problem. You know, as I mentioned, I think that Cuccinelli needs to make the case that he's different from McDonald, given not only the popularity amongst voters, but just on the actual principles, on the actual issues. He is very different from McDonald. I think that he could make a very compelling case on that point alone.
Here's how he's the same. Here's how he's the same. Number one, he's a Republican who supported a lot of the things that Bob McDonald did that women found objectionable. And here's another way he's the same. He took money from the same guy that Bob McDonald may be about to be indicted for taking money from. The Star Scientific people that were shoveling money to the McDonald's were shoveling money to Ken Cuccinelli too, and he didn't give any of the money back.
Money in politics is always a problem, and it's always something that we talk about during elections. I don't know how much it actually plays out.
Last word to Perry.
Voters know that McDonald's a Republican and Cuccinelli's a Republican. That's probably all. The nuances I'm not sure are helpful here, except that McDonald is in the same party as Cuccinelli, and that's a problem for McDonald. This is very simple, I think.
Thank you. Stick around. We're going to come back at the end and get your thoughts about Syria.